Good morning. Happy New Year. All you beautiful love streamers out there on Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. We want to welcome you to our beloved Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. If this is your first time, we are so delighted that you have chosen to join us today. With modern technology, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many lives, especially all of you who have come to join us, whether you found us on Zoom, Facebook, Meetup, YouTube, however you found us. We are so delighted that you have joined us today. And so we want to share all of the wonderful happenings here at CSL Charlotte. So please feel free to visit our website, cslcharlotte.org. You can put in a prayer request and subscribe. We add all of our recordings to our website each week. So let me tell you more about who we are, this community we call Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a new thought community, living in ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. Now, Dr. Holmes was a man on a serious mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Holmes developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. He's been referred to as the great synthesizer. And so at CSL Charlotte, every philosophy is honored along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinction. We want you to know that we are a diverse, open, and affirmative community. There are many paths to the divine. We can call it God, peace, love, spirit, infinite mind, or the I am presence. It really doesn't matter what you call it. It is your power that resonates within you. You do not have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime because we recognize and refer to many holy scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, Torah, Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita. And that's just to name only a few. So our vision statement here at CSO Charlotte is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So come and join us as we meet each Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That was mentioned earlier about our consciousness meeting. You're going to hear more about that when we talk about opportunities later on. So welcome everyone and enjoy our services as we celebrate this powerful being which lives within each and every one of us. So before I pass the mic over to our fabulous, fearless leader, Reverend Rosedale, I want to tell you she's going to give a powerful talk today about the power of intention. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. Until you transcend the ego, you can do nothing but add to the insanity of the world. When you're connected to the power of intention, everywhere you go and everyone you meet is affected by you and the energy you radiate. And that's from Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, The Power of Intention. And so it is. And I'm going to pass the mic over to our illustrious spiritual leader, Reverend Rosedale.
And so it is, Horace. Ooh, that's fabulous. You're going to send me that. Okay, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. My name is Reverend Rosedale Jones, and this is the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. What we do know is the first thing we do before we open up our celebration service is what? We open up with an affirmative prayer. And since we're all feeling that power of intention that Horace just mentioned, ooh, I like it. Ooh. First on our platform, we are going to have my sister and friend, Reverend Karen, to open us up with affirmative prayer. So she is notorious for somebody who's all about power of attention. And you know what? I know for a fact that she knows all too well about the power of attention and setting them. So I'm really proud to call her my friend and sister because that we reflected when we talk. Now, if you out there want a prayer to open up yourself to know about the power of intention or to accept it, go to our website right now, put in a prayer request so that an email comes to your inbox with a prayer in it. Here's the thing. If you don't put in the prayer request, you won't receive an email in your inbox. So we got to make sure that happens for you. And Reverend Karen, let's all welcome her right now as she prays us in for our affirmative prayer.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Rosedale. My goodness, my sister. Yes, I'm going to open with prayer on intention, knowing that intention is not a resolution. Intention is something we own from our hearts. And intention is something that has our light in it, and we live our lives in this world with our intentions, and they can be anything, being kind, being loving, being open-armed and accepting, knowing to love ourselves. And they're my intentions for this coming year, is to know who I am, to love myself so I can give that love out to everyone else. And knowing that this service unfolds beautifully with Reverend Rosedale's intentions of love and spirit, and how God speaks through her, spirit speaks through her every Sunday morning on this platform. We are open and we are receptive, and we receive the message into our hearts, into our minds, into our bodies, and it helps us go forward in this beautiful new year of 2024. And in gratitude and thanksgiving for CSL Charlotte, for this beautiful family, for being here on Sunday and being adopted by this family, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, God. And join me as I release this prayer into the universal law. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Karen, for that fabulous prayer. Now, next on our platform is my right-hand man, our reader. And see, our right-hand man, his name is Alan Lilly, better known as the A-Team, because he's there for me on every step of the way of everything we do, and he's also a person that I get to talk to about his intentions. So he knows about setting intentions, and we had a little funny joke about it this morning, but I'm not gonna go there, but because this is between me and him, but he's good with it. So he's gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna tell you something. His reading that he's going to be, if you're open to his reading, you are in for a treat. And this I know for sure. So Big A, but before you do that, Alan, there's a song that's coming on after that, and that song is called Happy New Year. That is an intention. It's what intention is all about. So with that said, Alan, make it do what it do.
Wow, thank you so much. And today's reading title is What You Need to Know About the Power of Intention. And it's from the website findyourgoodspace.com. In the universe, there is an immeasurable, indescribable force which shamans call intent. And absolutely everything that exists in the entire cosmos is attached to intent by a connecting link, by Carlos Castaneda. The essence of God, source, is pure, unbounded energy that can't be measured. At our most subatomic level, we too are this formless energy and have the innate power to direct it into coherent, tangible form through the power of our intention. Yet we struggle to connect to this truth because, as kids, we were taught to care more about fitting in and following the path others say we should. When you were born, you had zero doubts that you created your own reality. As Wayne Dyer said, every aspect of nature, without exception, has intention built into it. And as far as we can tell, nothing in nature questions its path of intent. What an interesting thing to think about. that nature never questions its path of intent. Imagine when you were a kid dreaming without limits, walking through the world as an authentic, pure version of yourself. You didn't question. Although your foundation of the freedom to create may be weakened, it doesn't mean it's completely gone. You only need to peel away the layers created by outside influences and realign with your source and its universal laws. Earlier, we talked about how we're particles at a subatomic level. That objects of mass exist because an intelligence willed them so. Intention isn't a physical action per se, but a force. When we live in alignment with source and act as partners with intention, the path to our desires unfolds. Now that I have your intention senses tingling, let's talk about how this works. The key to activating intention lies in the thoughts and benefits you're focusing the most attention on. You possess the ability to create anything by fixing your thoughts on what you desire. The best place to start is exactly where you are. Focus on introducing new, smaller habits into your life over time. Eventually, your spiritual stamina will grow and everything you think, say, or do will come from an aligned place. And so it is.
So it is. Happy New Year from CSL Charlotte and all of our leaders from this platform. We're going to start with a 2-minute centering just to bring ourselves here. So relax. And you can relax your eyes by putting them in your lap, closing them, or do whatever. It's your choice. But I want you to take a deep breath in because I bet you've been shallow breathing for so long. And let's exhale out really slow. You know, throughout the seasons, all seasons, we get to send happy thoughts to people. And I love this time of year because I get to do it. And then, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. That is the power of intention because I'm intending that for you. And that's what it really is in most cases, right? So my request for today is make it a happy new year for yourself. And I plan to do that for myself. How about you? You're at choice whether you choose to incorporate spiritual practices to experience great and transformative patterns in your life and paradigms. You know what I mean? The power of intention is totally up to you. So wiggle your fingers, wiggle your hands and your toes and all of that good stuff. And set together your mind, body, and spirit. And as you open your eyes or bring your attention back to your regular view of everything in the room, look at it as though it's a new place that you have never been before. And now I'm going to take a quick, brief gratitude moment and thank Horace the Bush. He is the person who actually runs our community to keep the timing in line. But I also thank him for being our MC for today as well. Also, thank you, Reverend Karen, for that fabulous, fabulous prayer, because you really brought it into my cells, right? And then thank you, AT, because you are the man. You make sure that you get your reading done, and you did a very phenomenal job, because that reading, what you need to know about the power of intention is phenomenal, because you definitely pointed the way to our talk, the power of intention. So let's think about this talk, the power of intention. You see, the power of the intention is actually the essence of God. It's how the essence of God fills the universe through intention. The intention is actually an energy. Now here's what it is. It's everything we see in nature. It's just the wind, it's the sun, it's everything that we actually do, other people. It is the intention that God's will is why we are here, but we are that God's will. It is it was embedded in us from the inception in our mom's womb. But I want to tell you a little something else. The Bible has a bunch of metaphors, and these metaphors and stories, they help us to relate to this God essence. That just means that the Bible and all of its stories are not always to be taken as literal as many people do. Sometimes we have to use those metaphors to help our imaginations in order for us to relate to this God essence. So metaphors and stories and great insights come from reading the Bible. Just make no bones about that. It's just that many humans have distorted the stories, using their influence on other people to tell them what they should be doing. But that was just, sometimes to gain the power over other people. But instead of people learning the essence of God for themselves, many people have actually relied on the false information about themselves. And so many times people just live those lives of counterfeit lives, as I call them, live. But you know what? One of the things that I like to use as an example, because it's an intention, which light is an intention. And see, the first book of Genesis, it says, God said, let there be light, and there was light. So many people listen to that, and they get a flawed message many times because they think it's a man saying that. It's an intention. Let me ask you a question. If you turn on the light switch in your house as you going on, is that you telling the light to come on, or is it your intention when you flick that flick that switch to get that light? The same thing about the light in the universe, the nature, the sun. When we step out in the sun, the intention of the sun is to nurture humans. The intention of the sun is to nurture every plant, every blade of grass, every tree. The sun is light, and it was intended by this beautiful and powerful energy called God. But here's the truth. The universe speaks light into existence through this energy. And this energy, and I want to tell you a little bit about this energy. When you're holding a conversation with yourself, when you're talking in your own mind, that energy and you are having a conversation. You and God are talking. So you'll say, turn left. And you'll say, never mind, I'm going to make that right. Well, you decided that you would do the right. But when you did that left and you said, oh, shoot, I know I should have turned. That intention, I wonder about that, the power. So just remember that the power of intention is actually present in everywhere. Everything we do is present in the sunlight, it's present in the wind, the rain, all the trees, because let me tell you about those trees. Hugging trees is a very powerful thing. All the energy, everything that's in me is in that tree. Everything that's in me is in that beautiful, vast ocean. And here's another powerful thing. In that beautiful rotation of this awesome earth, this energy holds us up 24/7, and we never fall down into space. The intention is to keep us up. The intention is to keep us living. The intention is to get us to understand the essence of God. And these energies, let me tell you, they're formless. They're all similar. We're energy to each other. The trees are energy to us. The ocean is energy to us. In fact, when I go, the beach is my favorite place. Melissa can tell you. When I'm at the beach, I am so in touch with nature. That's energy for me. The sound of the ocean, just watching it. And if I take a little bit of that ocean with me, I've got the whole entire ocean. Just like when I'm here amongst people, I've got that whole crowd with me. God is present everywhere. Now, all of these different beautiful energies that we have, they're divine. They really are. And what happens with these divine energies, they're present in every soul you see. You smile at somebody, what do? They smile back. It is something about that energy that really makes people good. It's the fundamental level of existence, that energy. I'm talking subatomic, I'm talking atoms. We are made up of microscopic particles and energy, and it's all derived from the universe. But there was not a human man to do that. There is nobody up in the sky doling out, you were good, so I'm going to give you this. Whether you're good or not so good, you're going to get whatever you intend, baby. So if you can say, you know what, you can be a mass murderer, and you decide that I want to be a millionaire, guess what happens? So technically speaking, God's not a physical object. God is not confined to a male or a female. God is not even a tangible matter. We are all interconnected with the same energy, and it flows throughout the universe, and it flows to each and every one. We cannot see it. I know you like to say, well, I don't see it. Stop. Because you know what? When your faith is in the unseen, that's when you prosper. That's when you manifest your best good. And if you don't know that, then you got to get some of these examples of people who've actually been around. And there's a lot of people that I can point to. But I'm going to point to me for a second, because I know me well, right? So there are many examples and stories that I can tell you that demonstrate all the transformative power that I've had in doing positive intention setting in my life. And when I intentionally focus on being safe, being prosperous, and actually being healthy, oh my God, do I become a witness to all the good transforming right here in my very purpose. In one of my spiritual practices, I can say, the other day, okay, I came to the realization that, well, I mean, not the other day, but it happened the other day, a couple of months ago. I came to the realization that it's important for me to reach a wider audience in order to effectively promote Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. So as a result, I found myself networking and going to all these fabulous events here in Charlotte. I was zealously promoting my business. I was talking about the mission of CSL Charlotte. I was talking about this group like you would never believe. So at this event, a young lady came over to me and she invited me to speak with her in front of a group of seniors. Now, it was really, I'm gonna tell you, it was that unseen, beautiful intention, energy of intention that drew me and Anastasia to that same networking event this particular morning back in October. Last week, we ended up starting our first, well, not last week, this past Thursday, we started our first out there talking to people, spreading the word of CSL Charlotte. You see, in this world, there are absolutely no way that there are any coincidences. And anytime somebody tells me that, oh, that's just an coincidence, I don't want to talk anymore. you know, you can't even see below the surface, baby. You gotta get below the surface, because the only thing that really actually happens in this world are meaningful encounters. And one more thing, transformations. The power of intention is inherent within every one of us, each individual. And see, deep down, we are all beings of light. Remember that? And the secret lies in re-establishing that connection between the mind, body, and the spirit. Every time you find yourself you feel separate because you're in your feelings. Everybody does. I get in my feelings sometimes, but for some reason I said, hey, this is not going to work. With spiritual practices, the power of intention is truly a light of our thoughts. And one more thing, our faith. When I intend something, I got faith. Trust me. So in the force that draws us together, which is spiritual practices, and which draws that spirit within us throughout and outside of us, this spirit, this source, this God, this essence wants to have its being in me, in my life, so that as I do that, I'm doing its job. See, the spiritual practice keeps me aware of that. And it keeps me shaped and molded and helps me to also shape and mold that formless energy I was talking about. It's all formless, you don't see it right away. But then you can be looking at something in your mind's eye and see a chair. Say, I want a chair, and this is the type of chair I want. Boom, you will see that chair in your house. But it's not going to be like overnight. You have time to do your spiritual practices, to really actually take yourself in, to believe that these tangible experiences exist for you. Because just because so-and-so has it, you think you don't. But that's because you actually keep looking at what you don't have. That's the power of intention. Here's a fantastic and awesome evolution right now, it's shaping itself into this world. And I'm seeing it right before my eyes in my living time. The world right now is shifting from these New Year's resolutions. And we're going to start taking in some more deeper concepts. Guess what that is? The power of intention. You see, it's merely not about creating goals in January and then losing that momentum come February. Has nothing to do with that. We have time, and we can take that time to embrace our intention. Embrace that power that we have, because that power that we have in us is that same energy. And let me tell you something. The practice of the power of intention goes beyond wishful thinking, so stop it. Wishful thinking is saying, yeah, I want, oh, I wish, oh, I think. Stop. Then don't even waste your time, because you're wasting your energy. Huh? When somebody says you're wasting your energy, literally, believe them. The power of intention demands dedication and ongoing effort. Let me tell you something. If you plan on living, you can't eat one meal today and think you're going to live for the rest of the week, let alone for the rest of your life, one more life. The same way you do that with food, the same way you do that with exercise, mind, body, spirit, the same way you do that for the spirit, you have to get spiritual practices under your belt. Now, many people, they actually incorporate daily rituals like, why do we incorporate daily rituals? Because we want to enforce these intentions. Listen, just because you all on New Year's Eve, we got together and many of you sent the list to me to say, oh, these are my intentions for 2024. I sure and truly hope that you will. Oh, I love you, Alan. I surely and truly hope that you will definitely make sure that you practice your intentions, set them, because it just fills your everyday life. Now, what I mean by practice your intentions, when you gave us the list, you also, I hope, are reading your list going, because what you put in your mind, eventually it becomes out. Everything we see, the buildings, the constructions, the highways, it was in somebody's mind first. Spiritual practices, they serve us as a reminder of what we want to manifest and also what we want our lives to look like. And you know what else? Spiritual practices help us stay connected to our vision. Intention setting is a whole new ballgame today. Not, oh, I have some New Year's resolutions and I'm gonna lose weight and I'm gonna do this. No, that's surface level stuff. Because when you make that resolution, you are not aware of the stuff you need to do to nourish this thing. You are not aware of the water you need to water those seeds that you plant. But when you got intention setting going on and you got a 30-day window where you're going to say, well, I am going to put myself in here and I'm going to look at this for 30 days in a row. Now we're talking about revisiting our awesome and beautiful intentions, right? So setting intentions, we begin a new journey of transformation and evolution. And while we're building that wonderful thing of transformation and evolution, we're also doing this creative. So intentions are not resolutions because resolutions are restrictive and very rigid. Intentions are flexible and adaptable. You can adapt. Actually, ideally, intentions are revisited throughout the year as we grow. How do you know you grow? Reflection. You have to reflect back. How did I do today? Did I put anybody out of my heart? Did I disrespect anyone? Did I make anyone smile? That's how I know when I'm on the right track of my intentions. So we want to revisit these intentions often. And all of this, all we do is we just allow ourselves to align every day. When you work up in the morning and you get up out of that bed, I promise you, I will promise you this, it is another opportunity to reflect on your intentions. But if you choose not to, it's your choice. So create a daily plan that nurtures all those desires that you put on your intentions for 2024. Start to embrace the power of intention. Tap into those spiritual practices because spiritual practices is a limitless wellspring. So we become active participants in shaping our lives. Or Alan and I talking about the news, telling you when to do things. Don't drink milk and tuna fish. No, we don't have to listen to them. Inside you is a power that's constantly going 24 hours a day. Conversations. With one of those intentional acts that you start to do that, you're going to totally contribute to your whole individual consciousness. As you contribute into your individual consciousness, each and every one of us as a whole collectively, CSL Charlotte, begin to feel the positive change within individually and within outside collectively. So just know that we have that going on. So let's remember this before I close. I challenge you to set some powerful intentions and align with your core values. Know your values, what you are willing to do and what you are not willing to do. You got to know those. Don't believe the hype when they say, don't just say the things you don't want, say what you don't want, but know what you do, okay? Whether you choose to write down your visual reminders or whether you choose to keep them in front of you in the forefront of your mind or something, find a way to revisit those intentions because that's the way you manifest. You don't manifest by, I just know this right. No, Well, what kind of time I'm putting this in? What kind of food am I eating? I mean, spiritual food on that one. If you're trying to build your spirit, it's spiritual food. If you're trying to build your body, it's body food, right? If you're trying to build your mind, it is spiritual food and it is a nutritional food. So again, it's beneficial to engage in your imagination. That's another way to build your mind. So that all being said, I want you to hear our next song. And I want you to know about 2024 when you hear this song. 2024 to this moment, you already saw, I'm gonna get up this morning, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But the rest of this day is unwritten. And that's what this song is about. The rest of 2024 is unwritten. But you will have a blank canvas today to decide what I want and what I don't want. And make your intention setting work. So with this next song, Unwritten, by Natasha Bedington, she is going to offer some powerful, encouraging lyrics. And what these lyrics are going to do is they're going to describe that life is still unwritten. So let's get that song together and let her close out this talk and start us on 2024. Oh, feel the rain on your skin. No one else could feel it for you. Only you can let it in. Today is just unwritten. The rest of the day, the rest of 2024, the rest of your life is unwritten. Stare at that blank page and in your spiritual practices. Do you get that? You may not know what you want. Look at that blank page. Something is going to pop up out of there for you. And oh my God, remember, the rest of 2024 is still unwritten. All righty. Thank you, Timmy P, with your fabulous announcements. And Mo, thank you, darling. Like I told you guys, if you didn't put in the prayer request and you didn't receive an email in your inbox, you didn't put in the prayer request. So anyway, don't forget, the prayer request is real important for you. I don't know about me, but I know for you. So get that in there. Go to our website now, put in your prayer request. That being said, what else is going to happen? This is the time I talk about birthdays. So if you know your birthday, you know I don't. So put in your chat that this is our birthday, just your month and your year. We don't need the whole thing. And thank you, Melissa, for always spotlighting us like that with the happy birthday sign. And it is just fantastic. So that's all said. Know your birthday, let us know it, because we want to celebrate you on the day you came to be. All right, so big gratitude for our beautiful platform. You know what? This is never, ever going to be a one-man band, just one person running it all. So I have to give special shout outs. That's how I like to do. That's how I roll. Taurus the Bush, you are fabulous. You did a great MC in there. And that first quote better be in my text by the time I get home. And that was fabulous. So also, opening and closing, Karen, you about to close, but you definitely opened this thing well, okay? And then my reader, my AT, my right hand, my left hand, my toes, and my fingers. Big A, he's always here for me. He's just phenomenal. And then the music and the announcements came from my pilot. That's Timmy P. He is the pilot for CSL Charlotte. And that's just a fabulous thing. And our technology, I call her now, the technology coordinator, which is the cleanup woman, Ruby G, making sure that we got a nice, smooth run behind the scenes. Thank you so much, Groovy G, for that. And our greeting and our spotlighter is that awesome Melissa Spiegler. She's also making sure that we are seen and heard. So she's doing her thing and she's bringing in the folks as they come in. So thank you, Mo, for sending out those prayers and being chomping at the bits, waiting for them to hit your email so that you can get them done and send them out. So thank you so much. So about to close out now. So before we close out, remember, today was all about that power of intention. Remember to make 2024 a happy new you. Because as you take in this last song before Reverend Karen prays us out, take time to celebrate you. Take time to celebrate some of the good that you do, and take time to see how well you do. And also, call in your wins. Look at yourself and say, whoa, I won. That's a winning. Look at your winnings, celebrate them, because right now we're getting ready to do that last song, which is Celebrate Good Times. So get it going. So let's have that last song, and then Reverend Karen is going to pray us out. She can play. All righty. So anyway, celebrate, guys. Remember, the rest is still unwritten. The rest of your life is still unwritten, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. So remember that as we close out 2024, and then celebrate your winnings. When you find out this week that, oh, I was waiting on that, boom, I got it, celebrate. I don't care, but don't always have to eat, right? Great. So that all said, Karen, really, Reverend Karen's going to pray us out.
Thank you, Reverend Rosedale, my sister. And listening to this talk today on intentions, I was sitting here thinking about all the intentions that I want to set, that I am going to set for 2024. And none of them brought me angst that, oh gosh, I won't be able to do that. It was all from my heart. So intentions are different than resolutions. And my prayer today for all of us is to celebrate who we are, to celebrate our intentions with kindness, and knowing that we all have a beautiful light in our lives to bring out into this world. No matter what we think right now, we are the light of spirit. We are the light of God. And just know that and connect with that, and to know how special each and every one of us are. We were made by the universal creator of all life, and that creator does not want us to be ashamed. That creator wants us to be proud and go out into life and to shine our lights, no matter where it is that we shine them or how we shine them, but to shine our lights. And in Thanksgiving for this beautiful service today, and for this beautiful talk and all it gave me to think about, and being a part of this wonderful CSL Charlotte platform, and an attitude of very, very true gratitude, I release this prayer into the universal law, and please join me in saying, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, phenomenal, fabulous team at Center for Spiritual Nation. More of you visiting and coming in and checking us out. So that all being said, I want to say goodbye, but I want us all to speak in the room and to say something like Happy New Year. This is our first week in the year that we are actually, no, it isn't. This is our second Sunday. Yes. Nope. First Sunday. So now we're going to say, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Glad you joined us today.